Hello. Today we're going to learn how to make this Busted Snowman card. It's a very popular card. Everybody seems to like it. It's very cute and it's actually quite simple to make. It looks a little bit more complicated than it actually is. But let's get started on making our card. What you're going to need for starters, it will be one piece of white cardstock measuring 5.5 by 11. You're going to need a deco decorative paper. I used like a shade of blue, and this needs to be cut 5.25 by 5.25 square. And then you will need a smaller white square embossed with snowflakes. And this one measures 3.5 by 3.5. And then you will need your snowman. You will need a snowman stamp. I use this little snowman stamp here, which is available at alwaystimetoCraft.com. Cute little stamp, very popular again. So once you have your stamp, you're basically ready to go. And then I will show you some little embellishments once we start putting it together. So the first thing you want to do is you want to stamp your snowman, and you want to get it colored and cut out like this so that we can kind of go ahead and start putting our card together. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your 5.5 by 11 card stock. You want to fold it in half. You can also score it if you like. All right, and then the next piece here is the one that's going to go on top. So what we're going to do with that one is we're going to work on the back of this one for now. So basically what you want to do is on the back of your card, you want to go around and you want to measure basically a 1/2 inch all the way around. And that's just to help us make sure that all our sides will end up being exactly the same. And there we go. And then, so this is 5.5 by 5.5. So again, if you line it up on your score pad or scoreboard, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, sorry, this one's 5.25. I'm sorry. So 5.25, 1/2 of 5.25. Basically what you want to do is you want to mark your center line at 1/2 point. And the same thing on this side, you want to mark your center line at 1/2 point. So basically, this one's not very dark, so you probably can't really see it. Let me just do. So basically, this is what the back, this is the deco paper we're working on. So this is what the back looks like. So I measured a 1/2 inch all the way around, and then I found the center point. So that's going to help me do my cut lines. So basically what we're going to do after this is we're going to just line up line up your ruler on your marked line, and you're going to cut from your 1/2 inch to your 1/2 inch, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch. Oops, I didn't cut right through. So basically this is kind of what you want. So you're going to have like this is what's going to help create our burst. Okay, so this is the front of you. Flip it over to the right side. And then I just use a marker, and with my marker, just to help start rolling the card, I use a marker to just help me start kind of rolling it a little bit. It's going to help to start create your burst. All right, so now that I have my more or less my burst, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and you don't want to pull this too hard on this, okay, because it will rip. So basically what you want to do is you want to go like this, and we're going to just roll it back a little bit. And with your X-Acto knife, you're going to make a little tiny cut. And you want to make sure that you go right through both layers. And you're going to need 4 little brads. So the little brad is going to go through your first layer. Oops. It's a little tricky there. These are really tiny. Going to go through your first layer, through your second layer, and then you're going to open the back of them. There's your first one. So we're going to do the opposite side. And you just have to be careful that it doesn't rip. And we're going to put the same thing. Try to make it all as even as possible on all 4 sides. Again, we're going to use our little brad. Put it through the first layer. Second layer. And open it up. And you're basically going to repeat this on all 4 sides. And you go to the back and you open up your brad. One more. There we go. Make sure you're straight across. One more little hole, and let's put our last brad in. Whoops. They're a little tricky to work with because they are so small. But let's feed that one through there and through the second layer and open it up on the back. So there's your burst. Now this one has ripped a little bit, so I'm going to put that one on the bottom because I'm going to have my sentiment on the bottom, so you're not even really going to see it. All right, so this is how it's going to end up being. All right, so our next step is going to be your snowflake. Your snowflake piece is going to go on the back of this, so you want to make sure you line it up square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue all over the edge. And glue that in place. Like I have a little rip there, so what I can do is if you do end up having a little rip, it's a little trickier to work with when you're working with cardstock because it's thicker, because you can also do this with paper. We'll just put a little dab of glue in there. And basically we're going to hold that down. So there we go. So once that's dried, we can now put our snowman in. So basically what you're going to do with your snowman is what I've done is I've stamped it, I've colored it, and I've cut it out. So the more you can cut out, the more it gives it a bit of a pop. And what you want to do is you want to add some elevation. So you're going to put some foam dots behind your snowman. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of these foam dots. I'm going to put 3 of them to make sure he's nice and... So 3 foam dots. And remember, you keep tabs on the orientation of your card, that it's almost like a triangle shape. And then we're going to come in and we're going to put this guy in here. Right, so I can tuck his little snowman underneath there. And there we go. And there you go. Your snowman is in. What I would like to do on my little snowman is I'm going to add a little snowflake to his hat. I've got a bunch of little snowflakes here. You can come with some embellishments. I added a little stone in the middle of it. And then with a little dab of glue, we'll just add a little snowflake to his hat. And then we're ready to put him on the card. So once that's in, what we want to do is come and we're going to put glue. Now you can use a glue gun. I prefer to use white glue because I find that it gives you time to center your stuff. It gives you a little bit of leeway time. Make sure you've got your card that's opening on the right side. And we're going to come and place our snowman. Make sure he's really well in. And if you find that you've missed some spots with some glue, you can always come in and take a little piece of cardstock, which I don't have with me right now, but hold on, let me grab a piece of cardstock. And just add a little bit of glue on the tip and go and slip it underneath it. If you find that, you missed a spot, or if it's, there we go. There we go. There we go. So now all we have left to do on it is to decorate it. Now I did bring a bunch of snowflakes. I added some little stones on some of the snowflakes. I doubled some up, some with blue underneath and a smaller snowflake on top. Now you can also add your sentiment. In my sentiment, mine says Winter Wonderland. It's just a plain little stamp. I'm going to just add some glue right on here and glue him in place. And now I can come and add my little snowflakes. So like I said, I did some where I added 2 layers. So I'll put those in first because they're slightly bigger. So I'll put one here. I will put one here. And maybe one on this side. So I'm going to come and I'm going to lay that one right there. And you want to put a fair amount of glue because you don't want them falling off. And now I've got a bunch of little ones that I can come and add in kind of throughout. I got some white ones, I got some blue ones. Let's do a little blue one right here. We can add one on the snow. You can add as many little snowflakes as you like, but I think that's enough. And this is basically your little card. Oh, if you want to, you can also come and add some extra little bling if you like the little shimmer. You can come in and add some of these. I like to add them so they kind of sparkle in the snow. Let's put one up here. There we go. And he's got his hat. He's got his snowflakes on his hat. And there we go. And this is how easy it is to make this card. I mean, I usually leave my cards blank. That way anybody can write the message that they like. And there you go. I hope you enjoy making the card.